How you doing, everybody? Stock Option Sniper here. Today I want to go over a very important market strategy. It's called the Wyckoff Method. It was created by Richard Wyckoff, and he used this strategy and understood that the composite man, meaning the individual that is behind the computer, the individual that is against the retail trader, understood that Richard Wyckoff understood that he was using a certain strategy and understand that the market behaves a certain way because the composite man is using this type of strategy, and Richard Wyckoff studied this method, and that's why it's called the Wyckoff method, right? So today we have phase A all the way to phase E, right? This is on Tesla. It's a live trade, as you can see. The market is moving, but I labeled everything for us. This is very important. You can try this on anything, right? So right here, we have first the phase, right? I went over my last video that the market has a certain phase. We have the accumulation phase, then we have the markup, then we have the distribution, then we have the markdown, right? So after a certain markdown, the market has an accumulation phase. And through this accumulation phase, you can catch the markup. So first right here, the first line right here from the Wyckoff, right here from Richard Wyckoff, right? I have here phase A. This is on Google right there. Richard Wyckoff is right there. This is on Google, right? We have PS. PS means preliminary support. This is where the stock has those little bounces, right? I'm missing one. Technically, we have another PS right here, right? Preliminary support. Boom, PS, right? The stock we're bouncing is using a support. So what you want to do to mark this down is you're going to go to the lowest move that the stock went, which I did right here, right? And we're going to call that the selling climax, right? This is the selling climax. This is where it's sold off, a seller starts to lose strength and buyer starts to take over, right? So once you find that last bottom, you're going to have something called an AR, which is an automatic rally, which it did right here. Boom, automatic rally, right? So that's phase A. Phase A is the preliminary supports, and then we're selling climax and the automatic rally, which what we have here, right? Once we have the automatic rally, you're gonna wait for something called a pullback, or it's called a second test. As you can see, it tests that selling climax, right? That is for phase B. That's why I have this line right here, right? We separate the segments. So phase B, all you have to worry is that second test. Phase C is something called the spring method, right? Also called the spring. This is the last point of support, aka the spring, right? This is also called the spring. Let me share you the spring. This is where, I want to put a parenthesis on that. This is where hang on, let me finish this. Spring, right? This is called the spring right here. This is usually where the composite man is building up his position. Look at that. He's spreading his capitals across, right? Spreads it here. Boom. He's making moves, but not a lot of moves to make parabolic moves in the market, right? He's just building up his positions. Look at that. Last point of support, right? As you can see right there. He's building up his position. This is called the spring method. This is the individual saying, oh, we're going puts. We're going to continue going down. This is where he shakes them off and starts to play with their emotion to let them think we're going down, but really, we're really not, right? So this is the spring method. And then we have, that's phase C right here, right? Phase C is the LP, last point of support. And then we have phase D, we have last point of support and last point of support as well, right? We have, when I say last point of support, this is where we start creating that higher lows, right? Look at that, right? We're starting to create the higher lows, as you guys can see. I'm going to delete that to make it clear. Boom, that's phase D. You wait for that last point of support, higher lows, boom, last point of support. And then we have something called phase E, right? Phase E is where the buy up happened, right? This is also point of buy up or last point of support. As you can see right here, it starts becoming stronger, right? It starts becoming stronger, right? And then we have something called sign of sign of strength, meaning that the buyer started to take over. As you can see, we have a certain resistance that this was playing right here, right there, right there, right there, right? As you can see, it's an accumulation phase. The stock hasn't really chosen a direction, right? So as you can see, when it broke out of that accumulation phase, we call that the sign of strength, right? And then once we have that pullback, to that resistance, once we have that pullback, we have that phase E of that rally, right there, that rally. You guys see that? This is the market phases right here. The phases of the Wyckoff method, right, from Richard Wyckoff. So once again, we have the preliminary support, we have the sign of the selling climax, then we have the automatic rally, and that's phase A, right? Phase B, we have the second test of that selling climax. It does not have to test all the way. It can be like right here. What do I mean by that? Move this. If you guys can see right here, it never really touched, but overall, it went down. You understand that it's coming to retest this, right? And then the last point of support, aka the spring, this is where the composite man starts to shake off everything, right? To start off the weak hands, the individual that are the weak hands, those things that are to get them off their position, right? To get them scared. That's why they said trading is basically 90% emotion, right? And then the rest, the technical analysis, all that stuff, those other stuff those are the 10%, but majority of it is usually mindset, right? It's usually mindset, emotions. So he starts to shake them off from the spring method, or the last point of support. After that, starts to create this higher high. Boom, breaks above that resistance that we have, sign of strength, phase E, pull back and run up, right? As you guys can see right here. Give that a try, check it out. I'm here on the daily time frame. I truly believe that the higher the time frame, the better it is. You can try it in the 4 hour. Let me know, comment if you guys like this video, subscribe if you want to learn more.